All right, good evening, everybody. It is now 6 o'clock. We will start the meeting. I'm going to ask Michael if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, to the republic, one nation, God, indivisible, liberty and justice. Thank you, Michael. All right, Sherelle, do we have any comments from the public? Comment cards?
Do we have any requests to speak cards? No.
Thank you. Okay, so
I'm going to go ahead and do the roll call.
Thank you.
Chair Gleason.
Here.
Vice Chair Bell. Commissioner Rodriguez.
Here.
Commissioner Sanchez.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Hanson.
Here.
Commissioner Lowy Ball. Alternate member DeGeorge. We have a quorum.
And Chairman Peggy Bell is now in the room. All right. We have a presentation tonight, so we'd love to hear from the Girl Scout Troop 808 on an Arbor Day utility box painting project. Ladies?
Commission, as you remember, Troop 808 did a fabulous utility box painting project with us 2 years ago. And this talented troop from West Sacramento is back again with another proposal for a project that they would like to present to the commission and just hear your thoughts on it. So with that, take it away, Troop 808.
Good evening, Chair Gleason, Commissioners, City staff, and guests. My name is Addie, and my favorite part of being in Girl Scouts is helping our community and having fun with all the girls on our troop.
My name's Amelia, and my favorite part about being a Girl Scout is being with all these awesome people. We are here tonight with some of our fellow Troop 808 members for a present proposal.
Some of our troop members could not be present today, but they have contributed in this idea and will be there to go through with it.
It all started when we were little first graders. Now we're in 8th grade, almost in high school, still thriving. We're a very creative group, and we love spreading our creativity all around our community.
Here are some pictures from our earliest meetings in blue daisy vests, bridging ceremonies, and our most recent trip to Yosemite.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and my favorite part of being a Girl Scout is the ability that I have to actually make a difference in the community with my friends. Our troop has done this a lot, with one example being our 2022 utility box project, where we beautified a formerly plain utility box across from City Hall. Since then, graffiti has been a challenge, but we've worked hard to upkeep the space. We're proud to be listed on the city's public art inventory, and we are glad that we have made an impact on bringing creativity and joy to West Sac.
My name is Savannah Freeze, and my favorite part of being a Girl Scout is the community we have brought throughout the years.
My name is Natalie, and my favorite part about being a Girl Scout is the places we get to go. We have an exciting and fun proposal to tell you about. Our idea started with Arbor Day this past April at Summerfield Park.
When we helped to plant the trees, scrubs, and flowers with the other Girl Scout troops throughout the city, while there, we noticed the center project with an ugly and bland utility. Our proposal is to beautify the utility box at Summerfield Park and turn it into a creative masterpiece. We already have the paint and supply.
We would love to connect with this Arbor Day and invite all the participating Girl Scouts to add their handprint to the newly painted blue utility.
In addition to the utility box painting,
We'd like to celebrate the hard work of the participants of Arbor Day by getting a donation of cold treats for all.
Since we have had hands-on experience with public art and beautifying utility boxes in West Sacramento, we also want you to think of us as you roll out additional public art in West Sacramento. We can add a valuable voice to that process, representing the perspective of the youth in our city.
Like you, we want the public spaces in our city to be vibrant. Thank you for listening to our ideas about our utility box project. And do you have any questions?
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. And I love that you want to spread creativity and joy. Do you have any ideas on themes for the utility box art?
We were going to have it basically like a blue box and get all of the girls who participated in Arbor Day planting to get their handprints on it in maybe different colors or patterns, do like a rainbow or butterfly.
Thank you.
And we have a sneak peek about another idea we have.
lastly, we have a sneak peek of an exciting component of Arbor Day this year. Bees play an essential role in our environment as pollinators for crops that humans and animals enjoy.
Unfortunately, bee populations have been declining, and we want to have a special place for native bee colonies to thrive. This idea came from David Culbertson, a Parks and Rec manager, and we are excited to support the effort. Also, we have some delicious cookies for you to enjoy for all your hard work.
Thank you for your time and have a beautiful day.
Thank you, ladies. I got to say that you're all about a foot taller than the last time I saw you at the rollout of the box. Is this bee project to be near the trees that you planted?
It's where Arbor.
So,
Okay, so yes. So I'm just going to throw it out there because a really beautiful box that had some bees on it to tie in with your bee houses would be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, they are absolutely an important and critical part of sustaining our food source.
And I'm really happy to hear your focus is on native bees, which are quite different from the honeybees we're all familiar with.
Really great presentation. I love the little sneak peek and the added. And our chairperson, I loved her idea about the bees. And I was curious about why blue. Why are you choosing a blue background? What's the symbolism there?
I think an idea you can have it is like the clear sky showing that there's clarity, and just it gives good, blue is a good color.
Throughout like communities that the girls have run and the environmental help keep the sky blue.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking of, how blue Mother Earth is, and that maybe you could do an earth. And I was thinking for the bees, it'd be really great if you named them all with your name instead of your hand, because you're all such busy bees. And I just love what you're creating for this community. So thank you.
And I agree, it's a very ugly box. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, agenda item 3, consideration for the approval of the minutes from August 26th, 2024. Have you all had a chance to look over the minutes? They are attached in the back.
I move to approve the minutes as shown in the packet.
I second.
Motion passes. Commissioner Peterson. Okay. I know, come back. All right. We have consideration for the resolution of 25-1AC, setting the time and date for our 2025 regular meetings for the Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation Committee. It's recommended that the Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation adopt 25-1AC, which is the time and date that we currently have, and it is the last Monday of every month from starting at 6 o'clock. Every other month. Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to approve, but I do have one caveat. June 30th is my birthday, so you might have to sing happy birthday on that meeting.
Can we have cake?
Yes, we can have cake.
Then I may go.
Seconded.
All right. See you all on the last Monday. All right. Number 5, we have a presentation on Bees Lakes habitat restoration and public access project for the educational kiosk content. Welcome, Erin.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. My name is Erin Ayala, and I am the Parks and Recreation Business Manager. I cannot see you very well, but I can't read either, so yeah, bear with me. So I'm bringing you a presentation on the Bees Lakes habitat restoration and public access project and the educational kiosks associated with it. I do the next one. Used this thing before? Is that it? No. Background. Okay, until now, Bees Lakes has been an unmanaged, undeveloped green space along the Sacramento River. Residents have used it informally for hiking, biking, horseback riding, bird watching, fishing. And in 2012, there was a conservation easement placed on the property to enhance public access to or along the water and to preserve, enhance, or create wetlands, riparian habitat, and open space. In 2018, the city was awarded $592,500 in grant funding from the Delta Conservancy to complete that Bees Lakes habitat restoration plan. In 2022, the city was awarded $2.37 million to complete all of the design, permitting, additional environmental work, and then the first phase of construction improvements. Oh, I'm going backwards. That didn't work. Right. So project elements, they're going to go through and there's going to be some brush clearing, trash removal. There are going to be some water quality improvements. They have these really cool, innovative floating islands or floating wetlands. We're going to create some initial, like a parking area, DG parking lot, public access improvements. There'll be improved public safety. It'll become a regional destination, and it'll have an environmental component. And so here's the general rendering, and you can kind of see, so along the southern port, along Chicory Loop, there's going to be a DG parking lot. There's going to be probably like an entry kiosk or something like that. You can see there's going to be a walking loop, probably along the perimeter. We're probably only going to have the secondary walking path through the tree canopy. You look at them on the right hand side. There's a shorter path. The other one, there was a lot of elderberry. It made it sort of wasn't cost effective or cost prohibitive to have that path just because of all the endangered species and stuff like that. But there's going to be, so the larger lake, I guess one in the south, is going to have a viewing platform, and that's where I think we're down to one floating island, but it's going to be kind of like, I don't know how they're doing it. It's going to be like somehow like fastened to the bottom of the river or the lake, and then it's going to have, I can show you in the rendering, but it's gonna be really cool, and so we're gonna it'll basically pull all the arsenic and all of the bad material in that lake. So it's gonna improve the environment for the critters that can't live there now or maybe could live there in the future. This is very cutting edge. I don't know how the heck we're gonna have all our guys out there on little aluminum dinghies, reeling it in and reeling it back out, because we're gonna have to get out there and trim them, because I guess the bad material is pulled into the plant material in these floating islands, and we trim them. And then I guess it keeps growing back. But let me go to, part of this project, of course, is to educate the people, the residents, the visitors, because we're really hoping that it's gonna speak to school children and other visitors, so they can learn about the riparian riparian habitat and the water clarification and water quality, and then also kind of the culture and the history of the site. So part of this project is having an environment or an educational component. So that educational element is going to be these educational kiosks. So the first one, staff really felt that it was important to let residents know where they were along this network. This is going to be adjacent to 5.6 miles of Class 1 bike trail. So letting them, you're here, so that visitors can understand the amenities that they're near. This updated location map that we have actually has all of the parks, the trail network. We've improved it so it lets you know where the restrooms and where like hydration stations are. So that'll give you an idea of their location. The second version we were looking at, so this is a really unique space. It's sort of the interface of 3 native tribes. So we reached out to the tribes specifically and asked them for some pre-approved material. And so they gave us a couple different things, but this is the one that they all agreed on, and it was providing basically visitors to understand some of the I guess the terminology. I don't know how that's even spoken, but some of the native plants and the terms used by the tribes when referencing them. And then the third one would be something probably on something like water quality. So you can see kind of what I'm talking about. You've got the floating island that's anchored at the bottom of the lake. And then, the urban runoff goes into this lake. It pulls the materials out, it creates clean water for the critters. Yeah, if you've seen it, it's really, really green right now. So the hope is that it's going to no longer be green. But this is going to be, a pretty amazing project when it's all built out. It's going to, I think, be a great draw for the community, especially for kids, and especially when you realize that when you go out there, it's almost magical because it's beautiful. The trees are incredible, and to have that kind of just like raw natural space in such an urban environment is really rare, and it's, I think, quite a gem. So next steps, I did not go off my notes at all. Next steps is we're going towards 100% design. We're hoping to be in construction this summer. We're still in the middle of the environmental and permitting process, but we're hoping that this summer we'll get to start the project. And so this concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Erin, how big is the land area?
I don't know, but I can find out. I'm trying to think how many. I think it's like maybe, I'm guessing 9 acres. But I can get a hard number for you because I'm not sure exactly what the precise number is.
Okay.
Have they done I know they were supposed to go out and scan the lake, see kind of what was under there, how deep it was. Have they done that?
I don't know if they've done that yet. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah,
I've seen birds and garbage
So,
and lots of dumping.
I'm super excited about this. My best friend growing up lived right there, and we used to play out there as kids, and it was amazing then, and this is just very exciting. But there's a lot of stuff, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I know they've tested the water,
there.
and that's how they know there's a lot of arsenic in there.
Okay.
That's one of the materials in it that they're trying to draw out. So I know people used to have like fish derbies in there. If anyone here knows where the term bees likes came from, I would love to know because we can't seem to find out. Because I know I don't know where it came from, and nobody from the tribes seems to have an idea where it came from. We kept thinking maybe it was a property owner or something, and no one seems to know why it got that name. But it's a very unique space, and yeah, they used to have, I think, like bass derbies out there, I think.
So the Rogers, Katie Rogers,
And I know Katie, and I reached out to Chris.
and she doesn't
No,
know anything.
No, I think they asked like, Buck. Is it their uncle or their grandfather,
Yeah.
Buck? I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
also, oh, go ahead.
Thanks for the presentation, Erin. Good to see you. My only suggestion is that I would love to see the pronunciation of how the Indians would say it. So it's phonetically, yeah, so that they could practice it.
Helpful. Would make
Yeah,
sense.
it would be fun. And then my other, regarding Bees Lake, the only thing I can think of is that Natalie B, maiden name Bees, and I live next to Mr. B's house, and he passed away some time ago. And now
Natalie
his
B's from
daughter-
State Parks. I know her.
Yeah. So just because of just because of the name similarity, maybe she may know.
I can email her.
Well, it is a beautiful area, and I used to bike past that, and I never knew what it was called. I just called it the Green Lagoon. So I'm glad it does have a name.
And I think this is the phase one of the improvements. They're looking for a phase 2, which I think is like an additional overlook for the second lake, and maybe maybe some additional. But I think the improvements are going to be very basic. I mean, eventually we were initially going to have some elevated boardwalks, and that became very expensive and probably more invasive than we wanted. So we're going more, and it's going to be seasonally inundated. We get it, but there will be probably a DG path, and so during the summers you'll be able to. And I think there needs to be a sense of connectivity. There's no point in going down there. There's nowhere to go. And so if you've got some walking loops and some connections, I think there's going to be some value in that.
And I'll put one other thing in the thoughts for this area. Being from northern Idaho, we do a lot of preservation of raptors and things. So a wooden pole with a pallet on top, and osprey and eagles will build nests there. And so
What are they
we're
called?
right next to the river.
Well, it would be like an osprey. At my home, we have owl boxes and back boxes. So does it like an osprey box, or does it have a term?
It doesn't have a term,
Okay.
but it's basically a wooden telephone pole
Okay.
and with literally just a pallet on top. The birds will do the rest. They will gather the sticks and build the nest. But it would be great to increase the amount of eagles or ospreys that we have in the area, and it would be perfect for that area.
Do you use pre-existing trees, or no? Does it have to be a standalone pole?
You can use trees, but typically that works really well because they can see
Mm-hmm. Okay.
incoming fur.
I actually saw bald eagles in my backyard the other
Oh, really?
week.
Oh, yeah, we've had bald
Yeah,
eagles in West Sac.
Yeah,
they're
we
so
have them.
beautiful. I don't get to see
Don't
them very
preserve
often.
them, no.
Yeah, but that was fun. Okay, Dawn, sorry.
Okay. Very excited to hear about wetland restorations happening right here in West Sacramento. I had no idea, and I'm like giddy. Couple of thoughts. First of all, are you looking for any volunteers for the physical labor of wetlands restoration? Do you know if they will be making a call for?
There probably is a conservation corps element to this grant. So it will probably be the California Conservation Corps. I don't know about actual volunteers, but I can imagine that wouldn't be something that they would consider, because that would be kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe even for other phases.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm fairly confident that that would be something that would be welcomed.
Okay. And then will you be giving a follow-up update for us later this year? So,
I probably can. This is, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a project update. So yeah, I'd love to bring it back.
Because I'm pretty sure we all think that and believe that nature is art on this panel.
No, it is. It's the most purest form of art, I think.
Yeah.
I have a question. Thank you. This was wonderful, and it's very exciting, as a couple of other commissioners mentioned. Is there like a overall timeline that is being thought about?
I know, since we aren't quite final with the permits, it's sort of a rough
Right.
estimate that we're probably going to start in the summer. But the improvements aren't that extreme, so I don't think it's going to be very long. So I imagine it'll be done by spring.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erin.
I just wanted to clarify. So we're just doing the first phase. There's not going to be walking paths. This is just strictly the cleaning up, and then we're deciding on what do we think of the educational aspect. Is that correct?
There will be walking loops, but they're going to be very, very basic, because we need to have ADA access. So we have to have access to the viewing platform. So
That's part of phase one?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. So there's
thank
going to be
you.
a DG parking lot so that people can come in and park, and there's going to be an accessible path all the way to that viewing platform. So that is definitely part of the project. And so I'm bringing before you just the content of the educational kiosks. So if there's, and I love the feedback. I think being able to pronounce what those terms are, I think it makes sense, because I have no idea what they say. And the idea of having an opportunity for some raptor nesting areas I think sounds pretty spot on, and will align. I mean, there's a conservation easement on the spot anyway, so it's intended to sort of enhance the riparian habitat. So I think that's brilliant.
I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Part 2, number 6. We have Connie Leek giving us the director's report.
Thank you, Chair Gleason. All right, for our director's report tonight, a little update on the Washington Neighborhood Park art piece. I wanted to provide you with an update on that. At your August 26th meeting, the commission supported staff's recommendation to use the direct selection process to procure an art piece for this site. Based on the commission's feedback, 2 art selections were prioritized for further consideration. Roger Berry's Hitch, and I don't know if you remember, that was the big structural, round, agricultural, kind of heavy piece, and Lisa Reinertsen's A Day at the Beach. But there was, for Miss Reinertsen's work, the commission requested that the art piece be customized to better reflect the district's history and theming as called out in the Washington District Art Implementation Plan. At the October 28th meeting of this commission, Ms. Reinertsen presented a proposed concept that was custom for this project. The commission recommended her custom piece with the assumption that it would be fabricated and installed within budget and on time. It was later discovered that there was a high likelihood of her art piece cracking, breaking during fabrication, which could require multiple iterations, take longer than originally planned, and had some increased costs. Because of this uncertainty, staff recommended that council consider the commission's alternative preferred art piece by Roger Berry. And last week, that was presented to council, and they did approve moving forward with Roger Berry's piece, as it is local and could be delivered and installed in time for the planned park improvements. So that piece will be coming in, and we will continue to keep you posted on the park improvements and the public art installation status. So there's that one. I would like to report that we are celebrating Black History Month at the Community Center, and we had a very successful 2025 Black History Month art reception, and we have a current exhibit going on. Families, friends, neighbors, a whole bunch of people gathered on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, and really celebrated the work of local Black artists. There were 4 artists: Delgreta Brown, Shantae Gorman, Elizabeth Hall, and Rachel Brewer. It's 6. Jordan Robinson and Sarah Scott. They're very meaningful and powerful pieces. There's 20 of them in total. If you've not gotten by to see them, please do. I happen to know at least one of our commissioners here was there that night, and maybe can share a little bit after I'm done in the commission correspondences. They have various mediums. They include oil, acrylic, intaglio printing, photography, and mixed media. And one really neat display features a group photograph of some youth that are youth dancers at our West Sacramento Community Center. And they come every week to refine their art of dance and movement. And so that's a celebration of art. And then there's a photographic piece of art celebrating these youth, and it's beautifully displayed in the exhibit right now. So we were just pleased with the huge turnout. We had council members, we had commissioners, lots of people from the public, and just a really wonderful exhibit. And it will continue to be exhibited through the end of this month, and we just asked you to come by and maybe see the art firsthand. And then also this last Saturday, we had the Family Fun Night, KNIGHT. Dance. So it was a very fantasy, dragons and unicorns and dress up and costumes, and it was a very merry, fun, magical night. And it was from 6 to 9 p.m. Families dressed up, danced. They enjoyed a 360-degree photo booth. They had all kinds of crafts. And it was just a time to have some, bippity boppity boo fun. So, and that concludes my director's report.
Thank you, Connie. I was the commissioner that was there at the reception. I know 3 of the 6 artists personally, and it is very good. There's a piece by Delgretta that is really unique, especially if you hear her talking about it. It's from when she was going to college back east, and a particular place on campus they call the Stoop. And then a pretty good friend of mine, Elizabeth Hall, that has a piece that is, I think, extremely moving, and you should go check it out. Go check it out. Do any of the commissioners have anything to bring forward for commissioner communication? No? Really?
Oh, I do.
There we go.
Actually, I was at the reception as well. And and I brought a friend of mine, and we loved it. And then I told all my other friends to definitely go to that while it's still, available. So thank you.
Over the winter, I completed another mural, this time at Southgate. Big line.
I just wanted to say regarding the park bench next to Station 45, I see a lot of progress. Is there an update to a ribbon cutting or anything?
We're waiting for a little bit better weather, but as you can see, the tiles that we made and that the artist made have been installed. The weather finally got good enough. They were able to put the final paint seal on the rest of it. We are hoping to do a little beautification around it, just a little landscaping to make it look a little prettier. And then the truth is we're going to try to have a celebration here in the next couple months, and we will be telling you, and we will make sure we put out signage at the spot for quite a while of time, so those who come by, and then we'll shoot it all over social media. But we're kind of still in the weather time that it's probably not time to be planning to go out and spend a Saturday out there just yet. But we will be planning a celebration for that. So, and if you want to stop by and look at the handmade tiles that we made that are at the base of that and are holding the piece at the base, they are all installed and done. So.
I did stop by and I scoured the ground for mine and I found mine, and I thought that was really, really wonderful to have that lasting impression and community contribution. So thanks, Connie, for helping make that happen.
Yeah, and that was just a really fun clay day. So we're going to call it Community Clay Day 2. And we're going to make tiles that you can take home. They won't necessarily be the tile that we made at the base of those, but we'll make some tiles that you could take home and dry, and they can be your cup tile or something. And we'll do the prints like we did with the artists when they had the prints that we were able to use. And also we used the natural elements there at the site. So we're going to have a Community Clay Day too. We already kind of know our theme because we had such a fun day doing that as a community. Yeah. So
good. I'm really glad because I was in Los Angeles and missed that. So. All right, anybody else? Anything for the good of the order? No? Okay, well, with that, I call adjournment. Love it, that's my favorite part. I know when you said something.